Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the SmoovePlayz podcast. We just finished talking about our first Monday night game, which either is wrapping up or is already wrapped up here, and we're ready to talk about Monday night, week two, game number two between the LA Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. A divisional matchup here, prime time to close out week two, Dean.
Yeah, this is a great game to close out week two. And honestly, it's more than a divisional matchup because we got Pete Carroll versus John Harbaugh.
Hey, two of the best, honestly, in this generation, two of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, that's true. And also just it just brings back memories of me watching football when it was those old Seahawks and Niners battles that were just amazing to watch.
Yeah, we definitely got two guys that know each other pretty well, and it should be a good one. And I think both these teams are going to be playing hard. It is in Las Vegas. Um, I mean, let's just dive right into it. I mean, let's analyze the Chargers. What are your thoughts on the Chargers, and what do the Chargers need to do to beat the Raiders here at the Death Star?
Well, the Chargers, they had a great week one. Also, they had a long, I mean, they played on Friday, so they have a longer break than the Raiders do. And I think people are forgetting about the Chargers just because maybe because they played on Friday, but Justin Herbert looked like an MVP candidate in that game against the Kansas City Chiefs. And we know they want to run the ball. We know they want to involve Hampton, Najee Harris, these guys. But if Justin Herbert can play like that every game, I mean, this Chargers team can make some real noise.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm very high on it. Like I know it's only after 1 week, but I just feel like everything that the Chargers have going in the locker room and in the front office and everything, I feel like it's all finally, gonna click. And I think that the Chargers are gonna be a team that surprises a lot of people this season. And as far as this one here against the Raiders, you mentioned the long week. They had an extra, what, 2 days, I think, over the Raiders to prepare. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I think the Chargers are in a very good spot. All they got to do is go out there and honestly just replicate the performance they had against the Chiefs. So they're coming from an international game, which always is tough. So I think that they definitely needed the other 2 extra days, and that negates it. But yeah, Justin Herbert, week one looked great. I called for the Quentin Johnston breakout, and boy, did he. Let's see, can he keep that going? Keenan Allen, I think him being back in LA where he's not the main guy, where that is just going to get leaned on, I think that's going to be a benefit to him, especially at this stage in his career. And Lad McConkey, I think that offensively, this Chargers team can be super, super explosive.
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially with McConaughey, he's very good. And also, I don't know what it is, but you put Keenan Allen in that Chargers jerseys, and it's like it went back 3 years in time. And I guess it was only 1 week, so we'll have to see it over 17. But he just fits in that jersey, man. Um, but what do you all right, so we talked about the Chargers a lot. What do you think about this Raiders team? Well, one more note on the Chargers real quick. I think that they can, like you were talking about their receivers, I think they can definitely attack this Raiders team on the outside, for sure. But what do you think about the Raiders? What do they need to do to win this game?
Yeah, I mean the Raiders. I think it all is going to be reliant on Geno Smith and that offensive line being able to give him time because I know they got Ashton Genty, and I know I said I didn't. I'm not super crazy. I'm not as high as most on Ashton Genty in his rookie year, right? I think that is my current assessment of Ashton Genty. But Brock Bowers also listed as questionable, so he might be on a snap count. Who knows? I think that the Raiders are battling a lot of adversity, and it's going to be tough for them to kind of get something going against this Chargers team that's got a lot of momentum after beating the Chiefs. And then I don't know, man. I think it's just Geno's going to have to outperform, I think, because I don't know. I guess, like you said, I don't know if the Raiders really have that crazy of an advantage on their defensive side of the ball either. I honestly just look at this one and it's I don't want to say I don't see a way for them to win, but I because they're in the NFL and every team can win at any given day, but it's hard. I gotta take a back seat and just observe because I don't know honestly what the recipe is. I mean, their star players just gotta show out.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I do think that Gino is capable of going out there and having an incredible game. I actually like the Raiders on the offensive side of the ball, especially with Gent. I know you're a little lower on him, but he's still a good running back. I know Jacoby Myers is their wide receiver one, but honestly, he's underrated in my opinion. I know you don't want him as your wide receiver one, but then you got younger guys like Trey Tucker, who made a touchdown catch last week. You got Jack Beck, my boy from TCU, and don't forget that you have the best tight end in the NFL. And Brock Bowers can move all around the field, can do everything on the football field, and it just makes Geno Smith's life easier. And we saw that last week as he had over 100 yards. So it's going to be interesting. I know the Chargers have Derwin James. We'll see how he matches up with Brock Bowers. That'll be one to watch for sure. But also, there is one advantage that I think if this guy can have a big game for the Raiders defense, then they have a shot in this game. And you know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
It's the boy Mad Max
Hmm.
because he's going to be matched up, as we talked about before the season, with Rashawn Slater being out for the year. Trey Pipkins the third is their starting right tackle. And nothing against Trey Pipkins, but
I'm
he's
taking
not.
Max Crosby 10 out
Yeah,
of 10 times.
exactly. And he's not Rashawn Slater. So now I love Max Crosby. I think he's even with all the credit he gets, I think he's still underrated. Um, so I guess that's the Raiders' way of winning, in my opinion. If Crosby can just wreck play, like just big plays, show up in big moments, because I think the Raiders' offense can actually move the ball and score. With all that being said, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. I'm picking the Chargers in this game.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think it's pretty obvious that I was going to take the Chargers as well. They're 3.5 points favorites. I think they're covering that. And they're just the better team. And after, again, I don't want to, make bold predictions and say a team's going to do this after just 1 week of football. But this Chargers team, like I said, I just think that everything's going to line up and the timing is going to be right. And this is a Chargers team that can really make some noise in the long haul. And I got them starting off the year 0 and 2, or starting off the year 2 and 0, taking down the Raiders on the road. And then, I mean, I think the sky's the limit for this Chargers team.
Yeah, no, they have a lot of potential. Don't I will say I'm picking the Chargers tonight. Don't sleep on them Raiders though. I like the Raiders. Pete Carroll's not had a losing season since like the 90s or something. Like this, I mean, I know their roster isn't the most talented, but I do like the Chargers in this spot. And they got my boy Gino, who they wrote him off and he didn't write back.
He did
So
not write back, but I'm not writing back to Gino tonight. So that's that's my take on it. You got a touchdown score for this in this one?
touchdown score. You know what? I think other than Max Crosby, actually the Raiders do have Adam Butler. I think that the Chargers, we know we saw Herbert with the arm last week. They were slinging that thing around. Everyone's going to be in there saying Herbert's going to throw, 2, 3 touchdowns. Najee Harris off the
Oh,
bench, the backup running back. They get inside the five. Hampton, he's tired. He let him down the field. They bring Najee in for one carry. Najee gets in there.
I like that. I like the Najee Harris pick, and I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna go on a bold take here and say that both running backs are scoring for LA. I think Najee finds the end zone, and I think Omarion Hampton finds the end zone for LA in this one. And
Okay.
so,
So
hey,
we're parlaying that.
let's parlay it, man.
Let's do it. After the Sunday night game with only one total touchdown scored last night. We'll
Bro,
see.
oh my
Yep.
gosh, an absolute stinker. All
But we'll
right.
see if both are get in here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this game starts at 10 o'clock, so we're gonna be up late watching
Yes.
this one wind down. It might be Tuesday by the time this game ends for us.
Sure. I think for sure.
So we appreciate y'all tuning in. Hopefully you'll be able to stick it out with us as we're watching this one play out. But appreciate y'all as always. Leave a comment down in the comment section your thoughts on who you have winning this game or any props or anything that you like. Um, And then like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not. And Dean, how we gonna close this one out?
Let's just hope for a good night of football tonight. Let's hope no one gets hurt and let's watch some good football.
Hey, couldn't have said it better myself. We appreciate y'all as always. Peace.
Peace.